looking for the same immune system. It's not looking for the same DNA. And it's something that we call the human leukocyte antigen. And that's where we are actually smelling your DNA. And it's important for us.
2 degrees.
Not the S word, the dreaded S word. Right now in downtown Toronto, though, luckily it's quite a bit warmer. Too warm for snow. 9 degrees and partly cloudy. Over at Pearson International Airport, getting a little bit chillier, though. 7 degrees with a few clouds as well. Remember, 680 News is the only radio station with a weather guarantee. Today's jackpot stands at $8,700. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, the AstraZeneca vaccine will be available to those 40 and older across the province starting Tuesday. We're also learning more about tomorrow's first federal budget in 2 years. A government source confirmed to 680 News what we can expect to see. Those details mere minutes away. 680 News, San 23.
Above 7 degrees Celsius, your winter tires wear faster and get noisy on the warm, dry surface. But with a quick change from winter to Toyota recommended all-season tires, you'll extend the life of your winter tires and enjoy a quieter ride on your all-season tires, which are designed for warmer temperatures. Come into your nearest Ontario Toyota dealer today and get the right tires at the right price, thanks to our price match promise. When it comes to tires, details make the difference. Terms and conditions apply.
680 News is #1 for news in Toronto.
From the scene.
And 680's Mark Douglas is at Coxwell and Gerard this afternoon. The house was so badly gutted by this early morning fire. You can see right through the front, out the back.
From Queen's Park, we are waiting for the latest from the Premier.
Always live.
Of course, you're going to hear it live on 680 News. I'm Richard Southern.
And always working for you 24/7.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
Truckers warn there may be delays crossing from Manitoba into Ontario beginning tomorrow due to the new COVID-19 restrictions.
But that link there says something different.
With Quebec and Manitoba to prohibit non-essential entry. The Ontario Trucking Association has asked for bypass lanes to keep truck traffic moving. It's unclear if that will be granted by tomorrow. The business report coming up in just 60 seconds.
Have you been seriously injured in a car accident? JSM Law. Is your insurance company denying your accident claim? JSM Law. Need a law firm to make insurance companies pay what you deserve for your injuries? JSM Law. If JSM Law doesn't settle your personal injury claim, you don't pay a penny in fees. JSM Law fights for the people of Ontario every day to get the money they rightfully deserve. Visit jsmlaw.ca or call 1-866-JSM-LAW-1.
Families, be sure your spring break is fun and safe. Continue to screen for COVID-19 symptoms daily and stay indoors if you feel unwell. Enjoy outdoor activities safely and close to home. Continue physical distancing. Wash your hands and wear a mask. Following public health advice will help stop the spread of COVID-19. Visit ontario.ca/COVID response. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
680 News Time, 10:26.
Time for the 680 News Business Report.
I'm Chris McCusker. 2/3 of Canadians will be dealing with COVID-related tax considerations this year. That's one of the findings in a new poll from IG Wealth Management done by Polera. Arel Porcel is Assistant Vice President, Tax and Estate Planning at IG Wealth Management.
Of that 2/3, about 46% are saying that they're dealing with a claim for working from home expenses. About 45% are dealing with the implications of the various government benefits they've received. And about a quarter are saying that they are accounting for maybe some part-time work that they took on during COVID. So a lot of new things are hitting people as they are in the process of preparing their 2020 tax returns.
Were you surprised the numbers are so high?
The government has said that they pay.
You work a bunch of jobs, they probably don't all hold back the correct amount of tax might all at once.
Student benefit, there's recovery benefit, there's all kinds of benefits. And those are just the federal plan. There's also all the provincial benefits that were paid out. I'm actually not surprised.
So what's your advice?
You take it step by step. So if you did receive government benefits, the government will have issued you a slip like your T4 for employment income and all the other slips you may receive. So if you receive
drug rehab,
you have to include it on your tax return.
Drug rehab, Taxpayers Anonymous.
Held at source. which was a good thing when you received it, not such a good thing when tax time comes around and you have to include an income that there was no taxes withheld and now also tax possibly. The government introduced some much simpler measures this year for claiming work from home expenses. In previous years, it was a relatively complex and cumbersome process. For this year, they've actually said just count the numbers.
That's all they're going to give us on a Sunday. They didn't repeat the story about the garlic. You won't believe me if I tell you how easy it is to peel garlic. I'm going to burn this shirt, don't worry. I'll take it off first, probably.
You tell us a little about yourself.
The details of my life are quite inconsequential.
Oh, no, please. Let's hear about your childhood.
What's the dream? Roll with that ambition, my whole childhood I've been on a mission. Running up the habits of the mission. Only take me a second to throw a clip in. Flick shots to get the dipping. To be wise to listen. I'm just a crack dealer, rolling in a cut jackal. It's a valve in a gag time thrown at you. Up to 22, my gun with the wind of my pouring at you. See around here, we do more than we have to. First we shoot you, then we stab you. In the middle of captain, cops don't care what happened. That's why I'm stick to the gangs and drug trafficking. To say my destiny is hell, and then I have a for every one of my crack sales. I say fuck it, tell the devil to prepare me a cell. I keep my head in the streets, keep my head in the streets. No sleep or breathe, but it's all I need. Keep my head in the streets, keep my head in the streets. No sleep or breathe, lost already speak. Keep my head in the streets, keep my head in the streets. No sleep or breathe, but it's all I need. Keep my head in the streets, keep my head in the streets. No sleep or breathe, lost already speak. I'm on this road, and I don't know where I'm heading. Got a feeling it's a dead end till I stroll. The last entry of a lost soul. The game got a cold shoulder. Now I'm on my own, a cold soldier. Let's see walk with me, judge me not. I have to rock and blaze weed. If I'm not supposed to, maybe Lord, you come and take me. Bring an end to this shit, chasing dreams. Till the end, I'll be shit chasing with my team. Making it by any means. Heaven seems so far. When you selling what they selling, their souls for. When I say to go, Lord, I'm a soldier, till my soul burns. Try to get this cold world. I'm with a bum, how the head turns up. I'ma ride till the sun burns out. Everything in this world gets raw by time. Money makes the world keep my head in the street. Keep my head in the street. No sleep or breathe, but it's all I need. Keep my head in the street. Keep my head in the street. No sleep or breathe, lost already speak. Keep my head in the street. Keep my head in the street. No sleep or breathe, but it's all I need. Keep my head in the street. Keep my head in the street. No sleep or breathe, lost already speak.
In 2 years.
And students across the province are set to return to school tomorrow following an April break, but they won't be heading back to the classrooms just yet.
So anytime things get too hectic for politicians in Canada, they just turn government off. Yeah, we're going home for a while. Fuck you.
The Raptors winners over the Thunder. Royals shut out the Blue Jays.
Distraction story, there we go.
And coming up in business, following an A-package agreement for Air Canada, what about the rest of the country's travel industry? I talked to an aviation industry expert about what's next.
680 News Time, 10:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by TELUS Living Well Companion. So a bunch of construction eastbound 401 through Highway 25 and Trafalgar. We have the right lanes blocked off as you go through this construction stretch. And then the East 401 ramp to the West 407 has been closed. And then approaching Nielsen, the express to collector transfers blocked. Southbound Markham Road, both the McCowan and the North Brimley ramps to the West 401 are shut down. And then west of Brimley, the express to collector transfer has been shut down here. West 407 and the North Mississauga Road ramps to the West 401 are also closed. Westbound 407 ramp to the North 427, that's shut down too. For a limited time, save $60 every year on TELUS Living Well Companion Home.
When did this guy explain the numbering system of Ontario highways?
Living Well. Conditions apply. Next report at 10:41 with the forecast. Here's Jason Fraser.
Well, the clouds will be sticking around for the rest of tonight. We could even see a stray shower or thunderstorm develop, and we'll see temperatures declining just above the freezing mark. Our overnight low tonight, is 2 degrees.
A bit warmer than that in downtown
This
Toronto right now.
motherfucker
9
said it's gonna
degrees
snow
with a few
on Wednesday.
clouds, and over at Pearson International Airport, just a little bit chillier than downtown. 7 degrees, but also with a few clouds. 6:80 news time, 10:32.
Big news for Ontarians 40 and over. The province is lowering the age limit for the
we don't care
AstraZeneca
about that.
vaccine.
We get the details from 680's Tijuana Turner.
Ontario's Health Minister Christine Elliott has confirmed to 680 News.
Right? And one of the
Angry callers, Bill or Chuck or
and one of the regions that's
fuck
associated, because our prefrontal cortex is our CEO. That's when we make our judgments and our decisions, and we even judge ourselves.
Oh, my bad. This, okay, I already know this is the relationship and dating show. This is why opposites attract.
Of everything, right? And so what happens is that when we flood our brain with love, when our brain is flooded with oxytocin, phenethylamine, serotonin, vasopressin, norepinephrine, when our brain is flooded with all of those drugs, it actually shuts that part of the brain down, that prefrontal cortex. Guess what? We can't really think straight. And you've heard it all. I know you guys have heard. Wow, love will make you do crazy things, right? And with the TV shows that's out, right? Fatal Attraction and he made me do it, love made me do it. And it is so true, because when it shuts that part down,
you're enabling psychopaths. You're enabling psychopaths right now.
Specifically the GTA, where the situation is most critical.
The Prime Minister is also coordinating with some Atlantic provinces to send additional healthcare staff, and the feds will cover the cost to get them to the hardest hit areas. The government also working directly with cities to deploy more rapid tests to hotspots and essential workplaces.
This will make sure the tests we deliver get used in the places they're needed most.
On top of this, there will be $84 million for self-isolation centers and $46 million to enhance virtual health care. A statement from the Office of Ontario's Health Minister says they're grateful for the federal support, and they continue to work to expand capacity in the healthcare system and enhance public health measures. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Tomorrow, the federal Liberals will table their first budget in 2 years. It's expected the Trudeau government will outline a plan to spend between at least $70 billion to $100 billion over the coming years in fiscal stimulus to help the economy recover. Now, a government source has confirmed to 680 News that there will be a national child care plan in the budget, a focus on greening the economy, as well as extending pandemic emergency supports through the fall.
What is universal basic income you were all about?
Budget as finance minister, taking the reins after Bill Morneau resigned due to the We Charity scandal. Now, the Liberals say their focus is on ensuring the economy post-pandemic is booming, but opposition parties say the focus needs to be on ensuring Canadians are financially safe now.
Well, the Tories have denied the claim, but NDP leader Andrea Horwath says the Ford government is planning to shut down the legislature later this week. Here's 680.
Why, now that she came out and said you were about to, you changed your mind. I don't think she'd be saying it. I don't think she just makes shit up.
Official opposition leader Andrea Horwath says NDP MPPs will not cooperate with a shutdown until the government has implemented paid sick days for all workers, direct financial support for workers and small businesses, canceled new police powers completely, and closed all non-essential workplaces.
$20 on that Trillium or something.
Until then, the NDP is prepared to run the legislature with the minimum number of staff and MPPs.
And this government thinks that they should just, walk away from listening to and hearing from everyday Ontarians. Through the legislative process, through the MPP, it's horrifying.
In response, the government House Leader's office says the legislature will be in session this week, but would not confirm anything beyond that. But Horwath and Liberal leader Stephen Del Duca insist this would be a complete shutdown to avoid accountability.
That sounds like one of those technicality things. Yeah, we'll be there long enough to shut it down type shit. That sounds like a don't be surprised if they pull shit like that in
with COVID-19 rules and restrictions changing quite literally day by day. Changes have attracted international media attention, including an opinion column in the Washington Post criticizing Premier Ford's actions. The column was written by David Musquat, a political theorist from Canada, and he says Ford is focusing on the wrong issue, police powers during the stay-at-home order, while he continues to neglect an important issue, paid sick days.
People would be leaving their fucking houses if they weren't hungry.
Provincial politics
is that simple?
During Ford showed no distinction other than, quote, his capacity to alienate, divide, and fail. Musgrove finished off by saying, it's hard to get rid of a premier and a majority government outside of an election, but for the good of his province and his own party, Ford should, quote, catch the next train to political oblivion.
Following a mid-April break, students in the province are set to return to
This
virtual
generation grew
learning
up on, like,
tomorrow.
Marvel
Last week,
movies
the
and
Ford
shit,
government
DC.
announced that in order to curb the spread of the virus, students would continue with remote learning for the foreseeable future. However, in light, many parents and educators are voicing concerns about how students with special needs have been handling virtual learning. In-person learning will be made available for students in that category as early as April 21st.
I thought schools for special needs were still open.
A memorial service has been held in central Nova Scotia to honor the 22 people killed by a lone gunman 1 year ago. Premier Ian Rankin addressed the gathering at Troro's First United Church. Rankin says he knows that words cannot fill the void left by those who lost.
680 News Time, 10:38. The Vancouver Canucks are back in action after more than 25 players and staff tested positive for COVID-19. We get the details from Ben Lewis from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, who tells us they haven't missed a
you have the
beat.
lungs of a...
Some wondered if they would play at all
Someone
again
who's
this season. This after a total of
pack-a-day
25 players
smoker
and
the last
staff were
25
affected by a
years.
major COVID-19 outbreak last month.
And then he goes
But
into
they
psychosis
collectively
and dementia at
recovered,
the
and
same
the
time.
Vancouver Canucks returned to the ice for the first time since March 24th and stunned the Maple Leafs 3-2 in overtime in their own building. Bo Horvat was the hero on offense with 2 goals and an assist, including the game winner. It was Braden Holtby who shut the door on Toronto, though. The veteran netminder made 37
There's some
saves to
type of
lead
weird
Vancouver to
curse
just their
on the Maple
17th
Leafs.
win overall. There will still be plenty of logistics to work out for the Canucks moving forward to complete their regular season schedule. For the Maple Leafs, it's a 4th consecutive loss. These two teams rematch again Tuesday night. From the Sports Desk, I'm Ben Lewis.
In 30 seconds, we'll check gas prices.
680 News Time,
5 minutes, you're going to
10:39.
go back to sports again. What the fuck?
Looking for a new vehicle? Find exceptional offers at Coventry North on all Jaguar vehicles, including the award-winning 2021 F-Pace
Jaguar.
Performance SUV and the powerful F-Type sports car. Available in our showroom today. For limited time,
it
receive
Jaguars?
interest
I
rates
thought
as low as
F-Sport was
0%.
Lexus.
Cash rebates up to $9,000
You got too many
and
different
conquest or loyalty
letter
programs
number
up to
combinations
$1,500
instead of
on
names.
select vehicles. Coventry North, located conveniently at Highway 407
Hey, who
and
owns
Western Road in
Jaguars?
Woodbridge. Book your appointment today.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will not change at midnight. It will be holding at just under $1.31
So Bernie Madoff
a
died in
liter
prison.
at
What happened to all
most
his money?
GTA stations. In 60 seconds, we'll
I'll be
check
dead serious.
traffic
Where'd it go?
and weather.
They never found it all.
Spring is finally here.
Shit,
and
I
Good
talked
Food
right
cooked
over
up a great deal for you. It's 8 free meals in your first 2 Good Food orders. That's 4 free meals per order. It's the perfect time to spruce up your dinner routine with our variety of easy recipes with fresh local ingredients. And get free contactless delivery. It doesn't get easier than this. To get your 8 free meals from Canada's #1 meal kit company, go to makegoodfood.ca and redeem your offer with promo code SPRING8. Limited time offer, new members only.
You've been at home for a while. Your office is at home.
How do you hack a cash register so every time someone scans some type of coupon or discount, it plays redemption songs? If the terminal will play lottery ticket sounds, then it'll play those ones too. You just have to figure out how to make it do it.
Full body and luxury massage models, and enjoy deep relaxation at home 24/7. Now, being stuck at home doesn't need to be so
You are not coming near my house.
At relaxacare.ca.
Relax.
680 News Time, 10:41. Time for a look at the roads. Here's Craig Gears.
Relax.
This report is brought to you by Pizza. We've got some construction out there. Westbound 401, some ramp closures. South Markham Road, the McCowan and North Brimley ramps to the westbound 401 are shut down. West 407 and North Mississauga Road
Stuck
ramps
in
to
my
the
head,
highway
but not for
also
a good
closed.
reason.
Eastbound 401, no ramp closures besides the access to the westbound
I was
407.
but a rolled
That's been
over
shut down.
vegetable oil
And
truck
then approaching Nielsen, the express
because it smashed head on into
here
a
has been
chicken
blocked
wing
for the overnight.
truck
Some other ramp closures, North 427, no access
and a
from the
rice
westbound
truck at the
407.
same time.
You're southbound on the 427 and 407, 2 left lanes are closed. Get the Uno combo at Pizza, a large 3-topping pizza, 3 cans of Coke, and limited edition deck of Uno cards for only $14.99. Handfuls of fun only at Pizza. Next report at 10:51 with the forecast. Here's Jason Fraser.
Cloudy skies are expected for the rest of tonight. If you're heading outdoors, would highly recommend that you bring along an umbrella, as we could end up seeing a stray shower or even a thunderstorm developing, and a low temperature of 2 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting one, as we will end up seeing a mix of sun and clouds, but there is a slight chance for seeing either an afternoon or
people on the side of the road playing.
We'll top out tomorrow near 16 degrees, and then we'll dip down to around 2 degrees. Our overnight low tonight, 2 degrees.
Right now downtown, a few clouds in the sky. It's 9 degrees. Over at Pearson Airport, similar conditions and 7 degrees. 2 police are investigating a homicide in Mississauga. Just before 7 this morning, police received a 911 call to a home in the Morningstar Drive and Goreway Drive area. Peel Police Constable Heather Cannon says police and EMS found a body with obvious signs of trauma.
We attended with still paramedic, and we did locate an adult male inside the residence suffering from gunshot wounds. We're saying adult male at this point just because there is still a notification of his family, so we have to do that first.
There is no suspect information at this time, and police are asking to speak with anyone who may have any information. I'm Madison Fitzpatrick.
There's somebody out there going, oh, right, the homicide. I forgot to call it off.
Like 680 News Time, 10:43.
Trippz.ca is the fastest way to get real estate listings in real time. In fact, it's so fast. In the time it takes me to tell you this, I could have reached out to a Trippz member realtor, checked out about a half dozen property listings, and a couple of market reports, crunched some numbers with their land transfer tax calculator.
A negative thinker, and I thought you people would have nothing.
So what are you waiting for? Be fast. Be first. For all your real estate needs, choose Trippz.ca. Powered by Trippz MLS system with exposure to 60,000 realtor users.
You have to love that NorthTorontoAuction.com. It's a 2-day online-only auction event. Friday at noon, recreational vehicles, small equipment, and non-runners. Then Saturday at 9 a.m., 300X government and pre-owned vehicles, plus municipal equipment. Buying a vehicle online has never been easier.
I want a street sweeper.
72-hour buyback, and select vehicles now have financing. Remember, you can also sell your vehicle hassle-free. Get online access anytime with a pro subscription. NorthTorontoAuction.com.
Wait a second.
You gotta try it. Some conditions apply.
72-hour buyback too,
Toronto's
right?
news now. This is 680 News.
It's 9 degrees with a few clouds right now in downtown Toronto. Good evening, I'm Veronica Thor.
I think everybody worldwide better start studying all these movies they make about Detroit. RoboCop and all that.
AstraZeneca vaccine to those 40 and over. A spokesperson for the health minister confirming the province made the call based on current supply of the vaccine and says the shot will be offered at pharmacies and primary care settings. As Ontario
Okay, so there's lots of vaccines there for people.
COVID-19, the federal government says it's stepping in to help. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he's coordinating with provinces to send additional health care staff.
He's got a feather, but he thinks it's a sword.
Liberals are set to table their first budget in 2 years tomorrow with a heavy focus on pandemic recovery.
If you didn't do your taxes for 2 years, you would get a letter from this motherfucker.
Tomorrow, but not yet in the classroom. We'll be sticking to remote learning for now. No date has been set for when they'll be able to resume in-person learning. 680 News Time, 10:45. Now with a look at 680 Sports, we head over to Sports at 590 The Fan and Ben Lewis.
Right.
Your last drink. If you drink, please don't drive. A message from Global News Radio 640 Toronto.
Choosing a child care provider is an important decision. As a mom going back to work and putting my child in care for the first time, I chose WeWatch for peace of mind. Knowing my child would be in a safe and stimulating environment. For over 35 years, WeWatch, a licensed agency, has offered flexible, affordable, educational, home-based childcare with a focus on emotional growth and social development. Spaces are now open with full COVID protocols. Learn more at WeWatch.com.
Oh, as opposed to the ones that don't have COVID.
You're locally
no,
owned and
I swear, a month ago they were advertising you could open up your own weed daycare. Is that connected to the weed charity that's under investigation?
For a limited time, get a basic oil change starting at $29.95, or a 6-month tire changeover starting at $49.95. Plus, you can buy now and pay later with our financing options. Book your appointment at Meineke.ca. Terms and conditions apply. Engine, brakes, tires, oil.
Law.
You better have angry
doing
callers.
car care,
You're
right?
not either. This is a freaking home.
Are you stuck in GTA traffic at the end of the day?
Who are we kidding? Of course you are. This is Alan Carter from Global News.
And far not, sir. Well, now you won't miss.
Clockwork.
That was misuse of your breaking news alert tone, you bastards.
We'll help you protect employees and customers.
I was about to change it when they played that.
Face masks, gloves, and thermometers. Hygienically launder
You're not allowed to play that just for a commercial on the same station where you play that. That's not right.
Disinfecting wipes. Learn how Cintas can help you open your doors with confidence. Oh, ready! Visit Cintas.ca.
Hey, I need like 7 of these fucking jumpsuits.
Leaside Manor Luxury Condo at 3 Southvale Drive is now registered and ready to move
The problem is not getting arrested 7 times. It's getting released 7 times and them stealing my clothes 7
Terraces are
times.
still available.
I don't know how to make that
Styled
happen.
with impeccable finishes. Wish we had more. Make your appointment to tour the model suites at leasidemanor.ca. Again, that's leasidemanor.ca. Invest in Shane Bakehi.
As the country works to vaccinate the
And I don't know if this is the one, but I know they're building one of these is 88 stories tall.
Brandon Rowe of City News explains.
Sky Tower. Yeah, what else would you call that? Sky Tower.
In Toronto, Ontario, have been working on repurposing drug candidates for cancer therapies. However, as COVID-19 began to devastate the world, they decided to shift their focus on finding approved drugs that will be effective in treating the virus.
So the type of drug that we've been able to find is something called an antiviral, which means that it is a drug that will go and bind to something in either in the virus or in a human cell that the virus needs and block the activity of that typically protein. And what that does is it prevents the virus from being able to make more copies of itself, more copies of the virus. So it helps your immune system essentially by leveling the playing field and making the immune system have fewer viruses.
So how did Magic Johnson outlive
In Toronto, Brandon Rose, City News.
everybody?
And now it's Food Bites. Here's 680's food and nutrition expert, Rose Reisman.
Garlic is a must in my kitchen. You can always buy pre-chopped or peeled cloves, but the flavor
Then
is
all of
never
this
as
is
good
going to
as
be
fresh.
Putin
But peeling a bunch of garlic cloves
and
can
Magic
be timely.
Johnson.
Best ways to remove the skin? While smashing with the back of a knife is classic, often mashing the garlic. Not great if you want whole cloves. Shaking the individual cloves vigorously in a jar or thermos as hard as possible results in peeled garlic with minimal bruising. My favorite 100% method is loosening the garlic skins in the microwave. Remove the loose exterior layers of the garlic bulb and trim the top, then microwave for 20 seconds. After cooling for a bit, the cloves slip off easily. In just 5 minutes, you have perfectly peeled garlic cloves. With Food Bites, I'm Rose Reisman.
Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll check your traffic report and your extended forecast.
I'm laughing at this moment because this motherfucker, the artist rendition, got the color of the smog correct. Look at that. That's pretty much true to what I'm looking at with my eye. He got the color, or she, whoever, got the color of the smog correct over, I see the DuPont, which is not far up the road here. Sky Tower. 1 Pinnacle 1 Young. So I'm guessing this tower is gonna hover like out over the water. Holy shit! That's the Toronto Star building right there, I think. What the fuck? How long is it gonna be here in the elevator to get up? I can't form a sentence normally. More than just a floor. Is this gonna be about the psychology of the? You know what interests me? That's a Komatsu digging a hole in the ground. Oh, where does this leave me? I bet you if I just press play, this will work. And then I can do this. Oh, wow, we are all in for a lot of problems.
And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them I was raised in the neighborhood that had the teams lined up to get it good. And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them I walk on the side of town. If you ain't from round here, don't come around. Nah. We like the good fellas, all my niggas be good fellas. We see numbers like the bank tellers. You gotta be smart, cause it's a hard game. Try to short up on your bluff like a card game. You know this game make for kiddies, man. All the girls that used to front wanna give me more than kitty, man. It's the murder cat, let's keep your chest in. I love money, so the thieves be my best friend. Infatuated with the fast cars and nice clothes. You know I get that, you already know. And we don't like rats. In my neighborhood, we show you how to trap. In my neighborhood, we bring it all back. In my neighborhood, I'm from Central, nigga, that's my neighborhood. I was raised in the neighborhood that had the things lined up to get it good. And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them I was raised in the neighborhood that had the things lined up to get it good. And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them, man, stay fresh to death, I'm dressing all black. No need for going out, cause they know I'm on the jack. I guess you can't help yourself, you gotta run your gap. You bet you can't run the trap like you doing that. And it's a real shame. You grew so damn lame, you could've had the chance to go to make some real change. Yes, we in the game, pumping waist deep. Central family to take you while you suck and sleep. And I have killers that wait for you across the street. Yeah, this is real, I'm definitely living on this gangster beat. And I'm an underground kid, and you can finally see it. Started out small time, but we finally made it. And this goes out to the fact that you be always hating. You couldn't keep a real nigga down cause I ain't faking. Started out with O's, now I'm in the kitchen baking. And then all night we ain't playing to just take it. That had the things lined up to get it good. And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them I was raised in the neighborhood that had the things lined up to get it good. And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them, like, yeah. It's been a long time coming. You were down the gun and straight truck running. See you, I was young thug and straight up and coming. Like a blowing young kid, getting all the girls loving it. I feel you, my soul, know we got the streets locked. You can be the one to show your boy how to make it rock. It don't make sense, so I'm still thugging. So we the best life and a nigga loving it. Money, power, respect, that's what the streets taught us. But we the ones who got us poppin' when they pressing on us. Little homie extra ride, he don't wanna rush. Now we getting money, and it's just never enough. And you know we can't, we love that blood money. I came from nothing, so I'm always thinking love money. And it's a good look, now my pockets locked up. I do it for my niggas and my homies locked up. Raised in the neighborhood that had the things lined up to get it good. And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them I was raised in the neighborhood that had the things lined up to get it good. And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them I was raised in the neighborhood that had the things lined up to get it good. And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them I was raised in the neighborhood that had the things lined up to get it good. And I knew one day I'd do the same thing. Cause I ride with hustlers who got that mind frame. Go and tell them, man. In the craft, I was born and raised in this trap. I'm a slave to my ways, fresh off the cage, already driving around with the gauge. I got pretty good crazy. But you never know, some days it's the money, other days it's the blood. It's the blood. Yeah, next minute you're a fucking ghost. Yeah, keep cracking them jokes, keep making shit sweet. I pop something, have your bones flowing down shit's creek. Keep the beans lined up from here to next week. Just give me your money the next, please. Before I knew about the broken beats, I knew about the grand keys. And when I sleep, I count things. When I dream of money and all the shiny things that it comes with. I work for sleeping all the streets, refuse to stay at a shelter. And living in a jacuzzi room at the Delta. But the show was never over for the soldier. When I'm broke or sober, I ain't stopping when the police try to pull me over. So when the plague, we don't pray. You can find a body dead in the alleyway. In the streets, so when the plague, we don't play. You can get stabbed up in broad day. In the streets, so when the plague, we don't pray. You can find a body dead in the alleyway. In the streets, so when the plague, we don't play. You can get stabbed up in broad day. In the streets, so when the plague, in the streets, so when the plague. I claim I'm real cause this track ain't the realest shit I ever did. Been over gang violence ever since I was a little kid. It's all fun till the sun sets and then it's gone. I seem to have the same calm every morn. I try to form my kids with every chance I get. You never know I might miss the next 5 days. Christmas says it's a fucked up world we live in. Mama told me to quit surrounding and work for what you give it. Never would have thought I could do what I've done. 5 G's around the neck, 2 G's on the pinky, 1 hand on the gun. It's like what a story to get to where I am. The road is long and never winding. So it's not the shadows that worry me. It's the blacker than the hand on the mask, man. It was the murky. I'ma keep my head low while I'm working. Cause the popo wanna be my ass, and it's the only thing I know for certain. God damn. Motherfucker. For all the crackheads, yeah, this is for you. For all you crackheads, yeah, this is for you. For all you drug users, this one's yours. For all you drug users, this one's yours. I'ma sell rock to the sell loves. Keep a hooker on every corner, every block. Stick to the rules and check the shit of those that wanna talk. Walk closely and I'll show you how the horses walk. I turn face to fans to fiends. I'm living a hustler's dream. Still doped up the brain, I need some weed. And that's enough coke for me. Plus I took 2.5 cats a day. And now I'm feeling like spitting it free. I'm feeling like spitting it free. Just spitting it free. Yeah, all the bad guys didn't even where the jobs at, where the jobs at, but big phone dead, and the country don't like rap, that's a fact. I put buttons through my teeth on that, matter of fact, where they at? The NPC ain't coming back. But it's all shit, you know me, when I'm too drunk to see, I love to drive. We're making bets on whether or not we gon' survive, up doing 95 on the wrong side, and they say we doing nothing with our lives. I'm surprised that lasted this long. I always imagined I would die alone, but I guess that's just how the story's told. No one makes money off hip-hop, I'd rather sell coke, I don't steal though. I ain't no fucking thief, I ain't robbing motherfuckers in the streets. If I'm doing dirt, I'm on your doorstep with a 20-piece. Screaming the first one for free. I made money, man. Anyway, that can from 100 grand to the last $2 bill in my hand. Every cent came from a fee. They bought my t-shirt, my shoes, and my jeans. So excuse me if I dedicate my life to these things. Fuckers in the streets, if I'm doing it, I guess that's just how the story's doing 95 on the wrong side, and they say we doing nothing with our lives. I'm surprised that lasted this long. I always imagined I would die alone, but I guess that's just how the story's told. No one makes money off hip-hop, I'd rather sell coke, I don't steal though. I ain't no fucking thief, I ain't robbing motherfuckers in the streets. If I'm doing dirt, I'm on your doorstep with a 20-piece. Screaming the first one for free. I made money, man, any way that I can. From 100 grand to the last $2 bill in my hand. Every cent came from a fee. They bought my t-shirt, my shoes, and my jeans. So excuse me if I dedicate my life to these things. He said that hip-hop was just a waste of his time, but he was hip-hop only 20% of the time. Yes, he's non-stop, 80% of the grind till his heart stop. Can't blame him for trying. He said that hip-hop was just a waste of his time, but he was hip-hop only 20% of the time. Yes, he's non-stop, 80% of the grind till his heart stop. Can't blame him for trying. You can't blame me for trying. In the end, I'm just a mental patient, patiently waiting, back and forth pacing, wondering if it's my turn next to see Satan. The world is cold and hell is hot. My whole life is all about not getting caught. Till my heartbeat stop, I'ma sell that rock, making chops. Put my middle finger up, screaming fuck the cops. Yeah, fuck the law. You end up with a busted jaw. Repeating what you saw. My arms reaches longer than the arm of the law. I can reach you in them prison cells, just so you know. You ain't safe in jail. You might as well kill yourself. But then again, we might meet up in hell. But well, ain't no sense, go hold me down. I'ma stack paper till I hit the ground. Now how's that sound? There ain't no money in hip hop, but there's plenty of fiends around. For all the crackheads, yeah, this is for you. For all you crackheads, yeah, this is for you. For all you drug users, this one's yours. For all you drug users, this one's yours. For all the crackheads, yeah, this is for you. For all you crackheads, yeah, this is for you. For all you drug users, this one's yours. For all you drug users, this one's yours. He said that hip hop just a waste of his time, but he was hip hop only 20% of the time. Yes, he's non-stop, 80% of the grind till his heart stop. Can't blame him for trying. He said that hip hop just a waste of his time, but he was hip hop only 20% of the time. Yes, he's non-stop, 80% of the grind till his heart stop. Can't blame him for trying.
This isn't gonna work. None of this is gonna work. Whoever designed the sewers, their plan is working.
Fact is, we're not dealing with petty criminals or cheap thugs making a show of their brutality.
Whoever designed the sewers, their plan is working. Because they're still sitting there working. No, I'm dead serious. In the gutters, there's one row of bricks. It's the perfect width for somebody's boot to clear. And all the storm drains are set up that you can kick them clean. That's why I do it that way, because they made them that dead simple. They would almost be self-cleaning if it wasn't for the plastic and aluminum cans and all that bullshit. Everything else, not going to work. I already know. It's too late.
Fact is, we're not dealing with petty criminals or cheap thugs making a show of their brutality. They have an extreme commitment to their cause. They're willing to do anything, no matter how vicious and underhanded. It's all the same. Anything to attain their ends.
I told the church I need to have it. For that money, that coin, I'm an addict. Still screaming, fuck it dead, homie. So I guess this life is more than just a habit. The day was a good day, but the night comes and watch darkness falls. Off the walls, they crawl, demons and all. How is it that I'm always involved? My life is one big wrong, never to be solved. I'm walking at a pace to see more like a crawl. But trust there ain't no time to pause. I pulled the weapon out and leave them dead just because. For you cows, I keep it extra slug. I'm sick of over the paper, seeing buckets of me up. You'll be a pretty boy after we fuck your ass up. I hope that girls like both the wounds, scars and rest in peace tattoos. Don't worry, dog, you can have some soon, and all your homeboys can have some too. What else can I do? You shooting at me, you shooting at you. It's never over till I say it's so. And even when I say it's over, trust me still, cause my intent is to kill. I let this verse be the evidence to send me to jail. Life is precious and death is divine. They say those that search will eventually find. I think they up their fucking mind, cause I still ain't found mine. And yes, I guess I am a little greedy, taking more than I need from the needy. But believe me, if need be, I'll do what it takes to get you shape. In critical condition, breathing from an oxygen tank. Ruthless, we're repping central. I'm worried about shit all over this instrumental. Life is simple, just follow the rules and you can't lose. I still suggest you take the time to lace up some shoes. Every day ain't no other way. Slang beats the fucking gang, summer way. Pushing every day and night. We in the game, let the 50 way. Where we sick and same way, win the bag, where we ride. We from a place where they get the faith, they get hit from strays and they took the way. Be alright. In the guts with the hustle bang, thinking when the muscle ain't gonna lay. Ain't gonna lay, stuck and straight, popping on the chain. Ain't no other way, trying to find a supplement for pain. Stuck up in the maze, struggling, we hustle for the day. So we wait, slinging, get yourself up on the plate, thugging from the play. But it's way too mid to be slain. We from a place where there's more hate, since the same. It's with the criminal state, with fingers gripping the gauge. And the kids are insane, way, with infinite way. And they be living, doing business, getting wits in the game. Meeting all the dreams and wishes off a break of the game. And the bigger the hit, yes, the quicker the play. With the visible until they get to clip in the bay. Until the prison the case, so they don't have any fear. Only some water, but it's raining the tears. No way to hustle, hard, juggle, war. We bustin' jaws, never stars. Slanging lick on hungry, I take fucking car. When the dogs are fucking laws, bustin' come from under walls. Bustin' you let jackin' knockin' losses when the top of claw. We from the gutter block, pumpin' shit, we run the block. Bustin' shots and let the bullets hard. Watchin' bullets pour, and we ain't gonna start. Slanging, stacking paper, we happening back. Cracks and trafficking navigators can't hack it. Stabbing statements, we slapping, we laughing, haters, harassing, we agitating, we gangsters and gladiators. You just speaking rap, being on the strip with crack. You on the strip, yeah, but it's for your chips and that. You don't grip straps, you don't jack shit with gas. You snitch and whack, ain't doing jack shit with that. Every day ain't no other way, slang beats a fucking chain, suffer way, pushing every day and night. We in the game, hit the 50 way, where we sick and same ways, in the bag, where we ride. We from a place where they get the bait, they get hit from strings and they kick the way. Be alright. In the guts with the hustle bang, thinking when the muscle bang, good the lag. From comprehending sipping, to drops and MC ripping. I see them all for what they were, minus the pennies missing. These minds are empty and I'm grabbing at my ankles, but I'm hard to catch like jackrabbits on angel dust drops. On my fucking ass, it pops off, fucking dash. I spot the wasp and busting chops off. Hungry jack, Dutch's rat. But by the time that shit throats, days flake like ash off the last flip, smoked on. Cold and wet, I've walked so many steps, I lost whatever was left and forgot what I came to get. But I'ma talk until I'm set. If the cop fresh, I check. Step in my path and I'ma stomp you on your chest until my pockets are flexed. I'll fuck the white bird as long as my hand fucks with that cash. The pipe birds I got beans, feeding off the chicken scraps. Listen, Jack, close got your nose to feel like a future blast. Well, what can I say? You know I am talking shit. I'ma put whatever I get my hands on. Choke through fingertips, I flow blue and a kick. Those condoms spewing like they chewing on shit. Who's slipping when they spit? They like a slut all brewed up. I spit and leave a click, swig, spit like Harvey Brew cuts. Shit to have you toss the dukes up, this shit's poppin' when we done with your motherfucker. Hung up like Christmas songs. Every day ain't no other way, slang beats a fucking chain, summer way, pushing every day and night. We in the game, it's the 50 way, where we sick and same way, in the back, where we ride. From a place where they get the bait, they get hit from strings and they drift away, be alright. In the guts with the hustle bang, thinking when the muscle bang, good the lane, where we ride. Every day ain't no other way, slang beats a fucking chain, summer way, pushing every day and night. We in the game, hit the 50 way, where we sick and same way, in the back, where we ride. We from a place where they get the bait, they get hit from strings and they drift away, be alright. In the guts with the hustle bang, thinking when the muscle bang, good the lane, where we ride.
I certainly agree with that. I don't know if we can get to a point where we're able to separate the politics at this point. Unfortunately, I think that we're so far into this and we've seen such polarization that trying to get back to that center point, whether you lean right or lean left, and be able to look at the practicality of what would be best for all of us to get COVID done as quickly as possible. I just don't think we're there, unfortunately. I fully agree. I think that listen, if we could do a true lockdown rather than calling it a lockdown but not actually having lockdowns, we probably could have gotten transition down fairly low, much longer before we have. And unfortunately, the situation is we're seeing what happens when the virus takes a shift and starts to move into young populations. And I don't know how this is going to play out, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a bit of an experiment. If you have a question for the doctor, the number to call is 1-877-399-9898. That's 1-877.
Too bad. South on Markham Road, both McCown and North Brimley ramps to the West 401 are shut down. West 407 and North Mississauga Road ramps to the West 401 are closed. Westbound 4.
basically don't go outside, close the parks, close the playgrounds, which sends kind of, I mean, he's walked back on that. But I did notice on Twitter, you made some comments or you liked a few tweets. What were they thinking?
I don't quite understand, right? And certainly, I think you saw, not only myself, but, so many other infectious disease experts from across Canada saying, what are you doing at this point? And I did a radio interview right after he had made the announcement, and it was tough trying to kind of hold back some expletives in trying to get across my frustration. Everything we understand about this virus, we understand outdoors is unbelievably safer. Is there still a risk? Yes. But at the same time, certainly for our own mental well-being and our own health, we actually can use the outdoors to our advantage. So to see that something taken away and knowing the potential repercussions of that is just mind-boggling.
It's just unbelievable. And it just actually underscores the lack of understanding of the leaders as it relates to the virus. And I actually think it's time now that maybe each province has a COVID advocate or a COVID compliance officer or somebody to stand up, and that the messaging needs to change.
New guy Mark still works there.
Virus is much less infectious or transmissible, I should say, and so we have some meager words in British Columbia. Don't go from North Van to Richmond, and don't go from West Van to Coquitlam. But that's most awful. Teenagers fell upon the beaches, hundreds of them. And so they're outside, but they're collecting in large groups. How risky is that?
Yeah, listen, I think we're learning about the variant still, right? So certainly it increases risk, but it's also about the idea of the risk assessment, right? So do you have people that are noticeably sick? Do you have people that are in proximity that they actually can transmit the virus to one another? And what is the overall prevalence in the community? All these things play into the risk assessment. It certainly is more risky, and that's why I think we keep talking about this idea of being outdoors. You still have to be cognizant of the distance between yourself and masking if you can't maintain that. But it's difficult, right? Because we will see people that will push the boundaries on this, where if there's some who are cases, then what do we do in regards to the messaging? It just makes things so difficult. We don't always have to push the limits. We can do things in somewhat
Could offer these vaccines to those above the age of 18. Ontario is receiving some assistance from the federal government and Atlantic Canada in the fight against COVID-19. The Intergovernmental Affairs Minister says the federal government will cover the cost of relocating healthcare workers across the province. This comes as Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland prepares to unveil the first federal budget tomorrow of the Liberals' minority government. And students across the province heading back to school tomorrow, but they won't be opening up their lockers. They're going to be opening up their laptops. They'll be doing it from the safety of their own home. Students will be sticking to remote learning. No word yet if they will be returning to class before the end of the academic year. 680 News Time, 11:15.
Because I researched gold, and it actually has averaged over 8% a year since 2002. That's a lot more than I'm getting with you.
What else has happened? You're going to have to pay to store it, and how are you going to sell it?
Actually, it's easy to store, and it costs less than your yearly management fee. And I found out that through Guildhall, that buying and selling happens on a phone call.
Have you ever thought about owning physical gold or silver and been told it's a bad idea? Thank goodness for Guildhall. Guildhall Precious Metals will put you first. With Guildhall, you can discover how owning physical gold and silver could protect your financial future and cost your pocket less. Go to guildhallwealth.com, where it's all about you.
Sorry, Stephen. I want to do things my way. I'm heading to Guildhall.
Guildhall is gold.
And Salvador Perez hit a 2-run shot off of TJ Zoik. Blue Jays fall to 7-9 overall. They're in action Tuesday night visiting the Red Sox. Elsewhere, the White Sox swept a doubleheader over Boston with 3-2 and 5-1 wins. The shorthanded Raptors topped the Thunder 112-106. Chris Boucher had 31 points and 11 rebounds. The Raptors improved to 24-34. And in golf from the RBC Heritage, Stuart Sink closed at 19 under par to capture the title.
During the month of Ram, you get 20% off MSRP with up to $12,950 in total discounts on select 2021 Ram 1500 Classic models. Plus, up to $3,000 in loyalty cash for select owners.
Looks like you lost a few follicles, friend. But that's because it's not a hairdryer. It's a Stihl BG50, the most popular handheld gas blower on the market.
I was literally blown away.
Meant for yard debris and leaf piles around your home, the Stihl BG50 blower is powerful yet lightweight. On sale for $199.95.
I don't know where my glasses are, but you can find the Stihl at Coy Brothers.
KOOYBROS.com.
$200, licensed to be anywhere.
Holloway. Finally, Toyota Red Tag Days are back at Don Valley North Toyota. Get lease or finance rates as low as 0%.
Yes, buy a car. Get severance pay. Buy a car.
Denied your long-term disability or cut off.
Holy shit. Just bombarded right now.
Visit DonValleyNorthToyota.com.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News at 11:18. On Saturday, Canada reported its second vaccine-related blood clot case. The individual is a man in his 60s living in Alberta. The province's top doctor continues to stress the risk of developing the clots is extremely rare, especially compared with the chance of dying from COVID-19. 680's Kayla Brooks spoke to a blood clot specialist who echoes that message.
Surya and Ariane says, if you look at the number of people who developed serious blood clots between 4 and 20 days after being vaccinated with the AstraZeneca shot,
The reported cases are like 86 out of like 25 million vaccinated people. So when you look at the incidence, it is still definitely there, but it's extremely rare.
However, if you are infected with COVID, that comes with a risk of blood clots as well.
And that is especially in people who get admitted to hospital with COVID-19 infection. And this occurs in around 5% of patients who just get admitted to regular hospital ward, and up to 20% in those admitted in ICU.
She says, based on this data and the third wave of the pandemic, the benefit of the AstraZeneca vaccine outweighs the potential risk. I'm Kayla Brooke.
And tax season is once again upon us, and while we remain in this pandemic, there's a few things you should know. 680's Todd Kaufman chatted with a tax expert to get the latest.
Vaccine is available for people over the age of 40. But I have Wendy on the line first from Surrey, British Columbia. Good evening, Wendy.
Hi, Maureen. First-time caller to your show. I have a question for you and one for the doctor as well. Okay, my question for you is I've been using Premarin estrogen cream.
Yes, very important in a pandemic. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep using it, Wendy.
Yes, well, I just want to know, I've been using it for about 15 years.
Yes, it's lifelong therapy.
It's lifelong therapy?
It is, yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to be 65 on
Doesn't matter.
Sunday.
It doesn't matter. All things will rebound, and not in a good way, so continue using it. Did you have a question for the doctor?
I do. I was watching the BBC this morning, and the scientists are saying that they really figured that the variants and that are traveling through the winds and the air.
Interesting.
Yeah, so with this virus, we've always considered the fact that it was, moving through both aerosols and respiratory droplets. And I think what we're certainly getting a better perspective of is that aerosols are certainly a contributor. And with the variants, with the way that they're behaving, I think that this idea of ventilation and aerosol movement is probably even more important than it ever has been before.
Okay, and I have one more question for you. If you have the Pfizer vaccination, do you have to stay with the Pfizer vaccination, or could you take Pfizer and Moderna?
So far, the recommendations are still that you have to stick with both of the same vaccines. That may change over time, but we're not quite there yet.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Wendy.
Thank you very much. And I have had my first Pfizer, and I am still wearing my mask when I go out.
Excellent. That's fantastic.
Okay, thank you very much.